Most people assume headline numbers tell the full story, but real costs often remain hidden. On paper, Americans see larger paychecks and lower tax rates and expect they come out ahead of their British counterparts. Yet that view misses key differences in daily costs and services that taxes in Britain quietly fund. Did you know that US take-home pay might not stretch as far as expected once you include the expenses British families barely notice? Imagine a family in a London suburb receiving monthly childcare subsidies and paying just a few pounds per doctor visit, compared to a family in Denver writing large checks for daycare and insurance. The real advantage is not obvious until every expense is counted. This video breaks down the facts behind income, tax, healthcare, education, retirement, and daily expenses for single professionals and families in both the US and Great Britain. Every number comes from official statistics and respected research, aiming for real-world insights over theory or hearsay. We'll count down the 10 biggest differences so you can see who really keeps more at the end of the month. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe. Number 10. Tax rate reality. Americans often believe they pay less tax than those in the UK, and on paper, that's generally accurate. Both countries use progressive taxes, meaning rates rise with income. The US separates federal and state taxes, so residents in states like Colorado pay 4.55% on top of the federal rate. Britain's system combines national income tax with required national insurance contributions. As a clear example, a single mechanical engineer in Denver earning 8,776 faces a total effective tax rate, including Social Security and Medicare, just above 25%, leaving $6,607 after tax. In Britain, the equivalent role pays about $53,000, with national insurance and income tax totaling around 31%, reducing take-home to $365,70. While Americans do keep more initially, British tax contributions quietly eliminate many daily expenses Americans must pay themselves. Maybe you've noticed this yourself the first time you checked your pay stub. Were you surprised by how many deductions showed up before you saw your net pay? Number 9. Out-of-pocket education. The price of education shapes financial security. British university tuition is capped at $9,250 per year for domestic students, and those fees come with government loans only repaid if earnings exceed $27,295. Loan payments stay small, and unpaid balances can vanish after 30 years. The average American college student at a public university graduates with about $23,000 in debt, usually settled over 10 years with interest rates above 5%. American graduates often owe $243.95 per month, while their British peers might pay less or nothing at all. This means Americans see immediate dips in disposable income as student loans kick in, whereas British workers enjoy a steadier budget. When it comes to future planning, U.S. families save about $543 per child each year for college, using 529 plans or similar accounts. British families, by contrast, rarely budget such amounts thanks to state support. It's a small detail, but it changes everything when building a family budget. Number 8. Healthcare premiums and stress. In the U.S., health insurance is a monthly financial decision. Even a 23-year-old engineer on an employer plan pays about $55 each month, but the deductible is over $3,100 before much is covered. A doctor visit usually costs $40, so annual totals reach at least $780 for healthy individuals. Family premiums jump much higher. A family of 4 in Colorado pays around $910.50 per month, adds $1,150 in yearly out-of-pocket costs, and meets deductibles over $7,000, totaling roughly $76 per year. In Britain, the National Health Service covers nearly all care, paid through taxes. Most doctor visits and medications are free or have a fixed fee, typically $9.65 per prescription. Major medical events in the U.S. may bring unpredictable bills, while in Britain the costs are predictable and low or absent. Most Americans admit navigating insurance paperwork is frustrating, and the uncertainty around medical bills can be stressful. In Britain, residents are often surprised at how rarely they pay out-of-pocket for care. Number 7. Childcare costs compared. Childcare places a larger financial strain on American parents. In Denver, average full-time daycare costs $1,575 per child per month, and pre-K programs approach $1,539. With 2 children, families spend around $35,478 a year, even after modest discounts. In England, government funding now covers 15 to 30 hours weekly of free childcare for children ages 3 and 4, and for lower-income families with younger children. Outside the subsidized hours, full-time nursery care costs about $1,143 monthly for a child under 2 in London, but family allowances and subsidies further reduce the net bill. The UK also pays a child benefit of $24 per week per child in 2023, offering more relief. British families tend to describe these subsidies as a clear help, while American parents strive to cover bills and save for future costs. Number 6. Unemployment and job security. Losing a job brings unequal consequences. At-will employment in most U.S. states lets employers end jobs at short notice and with little explanation. State unemployment pays only a fraction of former income, typically $240 to $450 per week for higher earners and usually for no more than 6 months. In Britain, redundancy rules enforce notice periods and more robust protections. Those out of work receive job seekers' allowance if they paid national insurance up to 182 days, with additional means-tested universal credit based on family status. The result is a stronger social safety net after job loss in the UK compared to most American experiences. Number 5. Long-term care burden. Planning for old age involves costs many overlook. In the U.S., long-term care insurance for a 55-year-old single man averages $950 per year, increasing notably with age. For married couples, premiums often double. Even then, policies may not cover all home or nursing care. In Britain, the NHS covers care for those below a savings threshold of $23,250 in 2023. Families above this level pay toward services, but government support assists with at-home and residential care. Americans regularly express concern about outliving their savings, while British retirees expect government help due to lifetime contributions. Number 4. Retirement savings and pensions. Social Security in the U.S. replaces about 40% of previous income in retirement. Both employers and employees contribute a combined 12.4% up to $14,700. Most U.S. workers supplement that with 401k, or IRA accounts, adding about 3% more income voluntarily. Britain's state pension typically covers 29% of a worker's former income, but new auto-enrollment policies require most workers to participate in workplace pensions. National insurance contributions fund the core payment, with rates varying by income. Americans face a higher risk of saving too little, which often becomes clear only after decades of work, while British pension rules build a more consistent default expectation for retirement income. Number 3. Child benefit contradiction. Family support differs in a way many miss. While Americans trust that lower taxes will mean more available cash for families, British parents receive direct monthly payments, $24 per week for a first child, and $15.90 for each additional child until age 18 or leaving education, tax-free. American parents get relief only through annual tax credits or complex delayed state programs, often means-tested or phased out for middle-income families. In the UK, regular child benefit smooths out family spending, helping with ordinary costs from school uniforms to groceries. By now, you might be comparing it to your own life. What's the last regular government payment you received for raising a child? And how much did it really help? Number 2. Disposable income gap. The true measure of economic security is what's left after subtracting taxes, loans, healthcare, childcare, and savings. In this comparison, a single engineer in Colorado keeps $6,739 yearly after all major deductions. The British counterpart faces higher payroll taxes but has fewer healthcare or loan repayments, ending up with about $33,500 or $4,1,500 in disposable income. The gap narrows for families. An American family of 4, after accounting for taxes, student savings, healthcare, emergency funds, and childcare, is left with roughly $10,700. The British family, after state supports and subsidies, retains about $62,000 or $76,800 with less risk of surprise expenses. Depending on exchange rates and benefit policies, the British family can even lead in real spending power. Number 1. Mindset shift. The American model values freedom and individual choice, believing higher take-home pay brings more opportunity. Yet, this freedom also introduces unpredictability. Job loss, big medical bills, or sudden childcare costs threaten financial plans. In Britain, higher taxes translate into stronger state support and greater resilience to life's shocks. This creates a quiet contradiction. Americans praise autonomy, but often wish for the security available in Britain. Think about your own experience for a moment. When was the last time you faced a bill or a crisis that left you wishing for a different system? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.